You won't believe this story. Honestly, this might be one of the funniest stories you'll ever hear. Yet somehow, it's also painful. The kind of story that will make you laugh first, then pause and shake your head. So sit back at your chair, my friends, while we begin the story.
There was a man named Emeka. Emeka was not poor. In fact, far from it. He worked in one of the biggest companies in the city, the kind of place people mentioned with respect. His salary was very good, very, very good. End of the month never scared him. Money entered his account like clockwork. But Emeka had one serious problem: stinginess. Not the ordinary kind though. This one was advanced, very professional. The type people would say, aha, this one no dey normal at all oh. Despite all the money he earned, Emeka refused to spend on himself or his family. His wife ran a small roadside shop where she sold akara and bread. That little business was what she used to feed the family, take care of the children, and manage the home. Sometimes she would ask Emeka for money for the children's need, and he would sigh deeply and say, things are hard now, hard care, when his account was smiling every month. Emeka didn't pay school fees. Because of that, the children attended a local school, the kind with broken desks and overcrowded classrooms. Meanwhile, their father had enough money to send them to any good school in the city. His colleagues at work were living well. Most of them had built houses. Some owned 2 or more cars. Others had even started investing back in the village. But Emeka, he was still living in a rented apartment. No house, no plans to build one, no concern at all. As for a car, chai. Emeka drove one of the oldest model you could imagine. He bought it from a repair shop. The car broke down often, and each time it did, Emeka would happily spend money repairing it. But when it comes to his family, he would suddenly become careful. If any of the children fell sick, hospital was not an option. No. They would buy chemist drugs upon chemist drugs. Fever, chemist drug. Cough, chemist drug. Even when the sickness was serious, Emeka would say, let's manage it first. Manage care. Life is not an experiment too. Food was another matter entirely. Emeka hated spending money in the market. So he took his wife and children to the farm. They farmed almost everything they ate. Cassava, vegetables, maize, pepper, you name it. If they wanted soup, it was from the farm. If they wanted food, it was from the farm. Also, he wouldn't spend money. In the end, it was the woman who was running the home. She fed the children, paid their school fees, and even paid the house rent. Whenever the landlord came knocking, Emeka always had one excuse or the other. And as usual, the wife would step in and settle it. That was how they continued, suffering inside wealth, living like poor people inside plenty money. She knew, of course, the wife had complained to everyone she could think of. Friends, neighbors, church members, anybody that would listen. But Emeka refused to change. Pastors came and talked to him. They prayed, they advised, they warned, but nothing changed. His family also came, brothers, sisters, even uncles. They all talked, and that was when something even more shocking came out. They realized that Emeka didn't send money to anybody, not his parents, not his siblings, nobody. If anyone in the family was sick, Emeka's solution was always the same. Let's call the whole family together and contribute. Meanwhile, this was a man sitting on plenty money. His favorite defense was always,
I need to save money for a better tomorrow, let me manage.
But funny enough, whenever there was a serious family issue, Emeka would suddenly disappear. He would find one excuse or the other and run away. Phone off, location unknown. The wife tried everything. At one point, she packed her properties and left the house. She was tired. She was frustrated. She was done. But later, people went to beg her. Family members called her back. She returned, not because of Emeka, but because of the children. From that day, she made up her mind. She stopped expecting anything from her husband. She just decided to live her life and raise her children the best way she could. People thought maybe Emeka had a side chick who was collecting all his money. They investigated, but nothing. Then they thought maybe he had invested the money somewhere. Maybe he took a big loan and was paying it back. They checked, still nothing. The truth was simple and shocking. This man had money, plenty money. Emeka was also extremely secretive. His phone was always locked. His passwords were like government secrets. Nobody knew anything, not his wife, not his children, not even his family, until one day, his last child accidentally discovered his password. That was the day everything changed. When they checked his account, they were shocked. Millions, not even thousands, millions sitting there quietly. Money that could have changed their lives long ago. And the funniest part, Emeka didn't even spend money on himself. He refused to buy new clothes. He wore the same old clothes every day. Clothes his late father had left behind before he died. That was what Emeka wore to work, to events, everywhere, just to avoid spending money. To spend money was like punishment to him. Even when he falls sick, he would refuse to go to the hospital. One day, Emeka was already seriously sick. Anybody that saw him could tell that this was not an ordinary sickness. People advised him again and again, please go to the hospital. But Emeka refused. He said he was already taking drugs and that the sickness was calming down. Someone told him, calming it down? This is about your life, oh. He waved it off. I'm just managing it. I will be fine, don't worry. Even when they invited him to the burial of his uncle, they told him clearly, if your body is not strong enough, you can stay back at home. But Emeka said no, he must go. They begged him again, you are not even strong. Rest first, go to the hospital, do some tests so we can know what is wrong. Emeka refused. He said he was okay, that he was taking herbal medicine, that everything was under control. He wouldn't miss that burial because it was one of those burials where everybody must attend. The entire family will be there to catch up on old times. Emeka decided to go ahead of everyone so he could arrange things before the rest of the family will arrive. But as he prepared to leave, his car started developing serious problems. He took it to the mechanic. The mechanic looked at the car and shook his head. My brother, your car is not okay. You need to change the engine. It has serious issues. Emeka frowned immediately. Change engine care? No, abeg. That one go cost me too much money. The mechanic insisted. Oga, this your car is risky. You can't travel far with it.
Try and repair it. When I come back from the village, we can run general repairs.
He advised. He warned. But Emeka refused. Just manage it. I just want to manage it. Please, just try your best. Do something for me. So they did something small and released the car. When Emeka got home and started the car engine, the sound was terrible. The wife heard it and came out. This motor is sounding somehow. Did you really take it to the mechanic? Emeka replied, yes, he said it's okay. The wife sighed and shook her head. I know you. If it requires spending money, you will refuse. Please go and repair this your car well. Emeka refused again. The wife then said something quietly, almost like a prayer. Thank God you are the only one driving this car. Please go alone. On the road to the village, the car had an accident. They rushed him to the hospital immediately. But before they could reach the hospital, there was nothing anybody could do. Emeka died just like that. Later that day, the wife and the children received a call, not even far from town. They were told to come and identify the body. That was how they were called to the roadside to see their husband and father. After they confirmed that he was indeed the husband, The officials handed over everything they recovered from Emeka's car, his phone, and every other personal item they found on him. From there, the wife took the body and deposited it in the mortuary. Then she went back home. That same day, one of the children picked up Emeka's phone. He remembered the password he had once seen his father type. Carefully, he entered it. The phone opened, and that was when the truth came out. Emeka had multiple accounts. Inside the account was more than 150 million naira. Now there wahala starts. The wife just stood there, staring at the screen. This was the same man who claimed there was no money. The same man who allowed his family to suffer. The wife had suffered enough. She didn't even waste time. First thing, she went to the market. For years, they had been sleeping on mats. She brought mattresses for herself and all her children. Soft ones for that matter. The kind they had never slept on before. Then, she bought food. Plenty food. The kind of food Emeka had refused them to eat all those years. Noodles, meat, chicken, food where they make sense. After that, she went straight to the car dealership. And yes, she bought a brand new car. Not Tokumbo, not even managed one, so brand new. She drove it home. Next was clothes. She changed her wardrobe and that of her children completely. New clothes, new shoes, new bags. The children were smiling like they had never smiled before. They were so happy, truly happy. Later, using Emeka's key, they opened his locker at home. This locker, no one dares to touch it when Emeka was alive. You dare not to, don't even try it. Inside were files upon files, documents for lands and properties. Plenty landed property, land that Emeka had quietly bought and hidden from everyone. The wife and her children looked at one another and said, "Wow, now is the time to enjoy." Meanwhile, Emeka's spirit was hovering around. He could see everything. He watched as the money he saved for years was being spent freely. His spirit was shouting,
"Don't spend that money. Don't spend it. You are squandering it. Save it for later."
But the wife couldn't see him. Only he could see them. Then the wife said, laughing,
"See this man. See how he had money and still refused to enjoy it? He died without spending his own money. Now we will show him how money is spent."
They were enjoying themselves, truly enjoying. They were happy like people who had won the lottery. And the truth was, if Emeka had been a kind and generous man, they would have been mourning deeply. They would have cried and cried. But because of the way he lived, they were not mourning. They were celebrating, because after years of suffering, abundance had finally come. When it was time for the burial, the man's family came together.
We cannot proceed with this decision. It goes against everything we stand for.
But we must consider the consequences. This is not just about tradition.
Our brother, our son, our husband must be given a befitting burial.
The wife laughed. She looked at them and said,
"Befitting burial? With which money? Have you people forgotten that our husband, your brother, your son, had no money? Wasn't that what he told all of us while he was alive? Don't you remember his slogan? Don't waste money. Don't spend too much."
Guys, please, we are not going to spend much money.
She even laughed as she spoke. It was not laughter of joy. It was the laughter of someone who had suffered too much. And that was exactly what they did. They brought one cheap rough coffin and put the man inside. They invited only a few people. There was no canopy. There was no elaborate cooking. Just small food, small gathering, nothing special. They lowered him into the ground and buried him quietly. That was all. Later that night, when everyone had gone home and the place was quiet, the eldest son and the last son went back to their father's grave. They stood there and urinated on it. They said, "Papa, anytime we come here, this is what you will get." They laughed, they mocked him, and the man's spirit was there, watching everything. He cried. He said to himself,
If only I had known. If I had repaired the car properly. If I had gone to the hospital. if I had enjoyed my life.
But it was too late. What did he gain? Nothing. He died and nobody mourned him. Instead, people were happy. Can you imagine that? A man dies and everyone feels relieved? They didn't even dress him in fine clothes. They buried him in one of his late father's old clothes, the same ones he wore while he was alive. And that was how the wife, the children, and even the family became free. Life changed. The wife built a duplex on one of the lands Emeka had secretly bought. The children were enrolled in good schools, the kind they had only admired from afar before. With the remaining money, the woman opened a large fashion school and fashion business, selling beautiful high-quality clothes. Business was booming. She lived well. Her children lived well. The family finally enjoyed life, and that was the end of Emeka's story.
Moral of the story: money has no value if it does not create a good life. Saving without purpose is simply another form of poverty. Being careful should never mean making your family suffer, because true wealth is meant to bring comfort, not pain. Life is short. If you refuse to enjoy it wisely, others will enjoy what you left behind. Kindness is what makes people remember you with love. When you live well, people mourn you. When you live wickedly, they celebrate your absence. Extreme stinginess destroys legacy, because Emeka died rich, yet left behind no love, no honor, and no respect. As the saying goes, if you refuse to spend your money wisely while you are alive, others will spend it without mercy when you are gone. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with others. Also, kindly hit the notification bell so you'll be notified whenever we upload a new video. Your support means a lot to us. Thanks once again for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye!